Gavin Stone is going out there, coming up with a league game. What are you kind of seeing from him, and what's
He's just in a really good spot. I think it was fun yesterday. You watch some guys throw bullpens. He's there watching. You see Clayton do flat ground. Gavin's there watching. You're on the bench, and you look down at the end of the bench, and he's there watching. And so it's good because he's constantly trying to gain knowledge, but physically he's in a good spot. Confidence-wise, he's in a really good spot. So I think for me, it's like, stay the course and just compete, and physically, mentally, he's in a good place.
Today we'll find out who's going to be named the All-Star starters. We don't know just yet, but just kind of when you think about this team, how deserving are these guys, and kind of hoping that you can see them in the lineup?
Yeah, I think obviously there's a bias. I think they're all deserving in their own right. It's hard to obviously debate Shohei and what he's done on the field, off the field. Before Mookie got hurt, he was up there as far as leading, all of voting as far as a shortstop. And then you just talk about Teo and his production that he's had consistently all year long. And I think this would be his second nomination. And so I think he's been representing the Dodgers really well. And then you got a couple pitchers, Tyler and the guy going tonight, Gavin, I think certainly have a case. Will Smith, I've always said that I think he's one of the top 2 catchers in baseball. And then I'm probably missing someone else. Who am I missing? Am I missing someone else?
Freddie.
Oh, of course, Freddie should be starting. I think now with Bryce down, I think Freddie's ultimately going to start in that game. And even though things are announced right now, there's certainly things that change in the days preceding the game. So hopefully the Dodgers will be well represented.
What do you think Gavin's watching for in those moments where he's just around and kind of observing?
I think he's just really trying to take as much of what different people do to learn. And I think that he sees guys working intentionally, or what they might be working on, a conversation that might be had that he can pull from. And you don't see a lot of starting pitchers stay out there all game and watch. Clayton does a really good job of it. So he sets the tone for a lot of our guys, all of our guys. But just you learn from watching hitters' swings, and not just because he's pitching tonight in Arizona, he's going to face those guys. He does it every night, and just kind of guys that are aggressive, guys that are not, what to get guys out on, and how his pitch might work, relative to Bobby Miller's. And you can get a lot of information, but nothing's better than your eyes. And so Gavin uses his eyes as much as anyone I've seen.
The biggest that he's like to develop this year from last year. I know we talked so much about the changes to his pitching, but is that the biggest thing that sort of helped him rest as much this year?
Obviously, he's stronger. So he's more physical. That was in the spring. Confidence-wise, he's continued to build that. But his curiosity, I think, is something that's really helped him, because there's a part of being curious but not overwhelmed, and he's got that good balance.
Did Kershaw end up throwing a bullpen?
His is tomorrow. Sorry about that.
Hey Dave, Eric Blake trying in the last couple of weeks seems more human than what we saw when he first came back. Is it mechanical, or what have you seen from him where the pitch count's been higher, the walks, all that stuff?
I think, yes, he has shown he is human. I think for me, there's obviously with guys, when you give up slug, it's a mistake pitch. I think that, there might be some pitch selection for me going to the well too many times in one at bat. The repeated pitch, I think he's been victim of. Don't like the walk. That's certainly uncharacteristic of him. So I think that he's human. He's going to kind of get back to being who he is. But I think the thing that really will get him last night was certainly the walk and not being able to field his own position. So those are things that, our guys really do a good job of that.
Has he told you anything as far as like reports or anything, just how the shoulder's feeling after all this?
Feels good. So physically he feels great. Just performance-wise, it'll get better.
Dave, you kind of mentioned Ryder yesterday. He's kind of making some progress. Like, are you guys cautiously optimistic, or are you fully optimistic?
I think cautiously optimistic. I think when you're talking about the shoulder, you certainly have to be cautiously optimistic or cautious. So yeah, he's supposed to be going and throwing a sim game at CBR. So, the bullpens have been good, velocity's been good. So hopefully that we can kind of sustain it, because, any sort of setback now would be a tough one to kind of overcome. So hopefully, he continues to trend, and I know he's putting in the work. I know the guys at CBR are doing a great job too.
And what you hear with Joe Caddy yesterday, and how many more is he probably?
Yeah, I just talked to Joe. He's in good spirits. Ward Knox's snapback hat for the outing, so like only Joe can do. I still stand by. I think it's going to be 4 or 5, something like that, because you still got to do the back-to-back. Maybe not the up-down, but I think the back-to-back is important.
Then Eric Gagne's going to throw up the first pitch, celebrating 20th anniversary of 84 consecutive saves. You were his teammate. Just kind of, what do you remember most about that era, that phenomenon that was Eric Gagne when he was dominating during that period?
Domination. He was, it was like cartoon stuff. Guys had no chance, and the game over, the welcome to the jungle, it was a craze, because there was a thing where Dodger fans would leave early, but with Eric closing out games, no one left, and that was pretty cool. I remember being on center field sometimes, taking my glove off, feeling I didn't even need to have my glove on, and I would kind of challenge myself by not having my glove on when the pitch was thrown. He was just dominant. He was very well prepared, very smart guy. Eric is very smart. The command was unbelievable. The fastball was commanded. The breaking ball was filthy, and then the changeup was like a Bugs Bunny changeup. So it's good. It's good. I'm sure he's still in great shape right now. He asked me to throw out the first pitch, but I think I'm going to decline, because I don't know what he's going to throw, and I don't want him to embarrass me. So hopefully somebody else will catch it.
Hey Dave, didn't you save one of those games for him that kept the streak going?
I did, and I'm still waiting for a steak dinner. So we were at, I don't know the name of it, it was in Houston. I don't know what it was called back then, maybe Enron.
Trash can field.
Oh, ouch. So going up the Taos Hill. And so, yeah, there was a ball that Lance Berkman hit, and I kept my legs and robbed a homer and kept that streak intact. And so I'm certain that he said he owes me a dinner. So we're 20 years late. So I'm still waiting. I'm still hungry.
Dave, the team's played pretty good without Mookie. What do you think of the team's play and also Miguel's play at short?
It's one of those things, Doug, where it's like, we've weathered a lot of things over the years, and certainly this year we just got to keep going forward. We're certainly better with Mookie. No one can debate that. But guys have stepped up. Guys are starting to play a little bit better. And Miguel Rojas, man, it's just, I can't say enough about what he's done for us. And he's, you're talking about MVPs of the ball club, and we've got a good, solid 5 that anyone can make a really strong case for, and he's in that conversation.
He said he'd be willing to go anywhere you need him, Mookie, when he comes back. When do you start to think about how you want to play that? I know you still have at least another month, but
I think, I think I'm going to use as much time as possible, because I think you have to appreciate the people that it could affect, as far as when the move is made or isn't made. Leading up to that happening, and there's no sense in me talking about it to potentially get into the psyche of any player. So my job is my ask is for these guys just to play and help us win tonight. But it is on my mind, Doug, but it's not front of mind, let's say.
Just quickly, for Gavin, just considering how he could just be through his last outing, do you have to like keep kind of a leash on him tonight, or do you feel like if you mindful as you go this evening?
No, I feel good. We're very mindful of kind of the stuff and how it trends and how it's playing, and we're trying to manage fatigue to potentially guard against injury. So no, I think for me, I'm just going to watch the game like us all, and hopefully he can stay there long and win a game.